Okay, so picture this. You look up at the sky on a crisp autumn evening and you see a flock of birds flying by. You probably think, oh, cool, birds. But you are actually looking at a fleet of highly advanced bio-integrated inertial measurement units. Seriously, these aren't just mere animals flapping their wings. They are living, breathing supercomputers, actively capable of calculating hemispheric trajectories in real time. We are talking about biological drones that execute absolutely flawless intercontinental missions. And they do it by treating the Earth's atmosphere like a fluid, three-dimensional field of coded navigation markers. Just let this reality sink in for a second. A walnut-sized brain, a 10,000-mile flight, zero GPS. How? I mean, really, how? How does a creature overcome the violent, completely unpredictable turbulence of atmospheric currents, not to mention the constantly shifting magnetic signature of the Earth, without a single satellite to guide it? Well, the answer is that millions of these biological drones are running an onboard operating system that literally puts our most advanced human technology to shame. At the absolute core of that operating system is a mind-bending concept called multimodal integration. To truly get how this works, we kind of have to completely reverse engineer the bird. We need to stop seeing it as just a cute feathered creature and start looking at it as a piece of staggering biological technology. It is a machine that is constantly pulling in radically conflicting data from a bunch of different internal compasses. It's recalculating solar, lunar, and geomagnetic vectors, all at the exact same time, just to synthesize one single unwavering flight path.
Chapter 1: The Invisible Sensory Network.
So to see how this all builds together, we have to look under the hood at the bird's onboard hardware. Take the CYR4 protein. This is a light-dependent protein located right inside the bird's retina, and it allows a bird to literally see the Earth's magnetic field. It's wild. Imagine putting on a pair of high-tech augmented reality glasses. Suddenly, you see this translucent grid or like a glowing compass needle projected directly over the physical world around you. The bird uses this granular, super high-resolution visual input to read the exact angle at which invisible magnetic force lines strike its eyes. That's how it finds its exact latitude. It's exactly like a fighter pilot constantly glancing at a glowing heads-up instrument panel. But here's the crazy part. Vision is just the start. Enter the olfactory coordinate system. The bird's olfactory bulb processes chemical gradients in the air to essentially create a massive invisible spatial map. Think about being a hiker, right? You know you're getting close to a river because you suddenly smell damp soil in the air. Or you know you're near a mountain pass because you catch the scent of pine needles. The bird is doing this exact same thing, but on a continental scale. It uses the distinct chemical signatures of entirely different ecoregions to run a continuous cross-reference calculation. So if its magnetic compass says it's flying south, but it suddenly smells the chemical signature of the salty coast, it instantly knows it's been blown off course by crosswinds and calculates a brand new vector. And if all of that fails, there is this incredible backup system: infrasound reception. Birds are exquisitely sensitive to ultra-low frequency sounds so deep they can travel thousands of miles across the globe. Imagine you are standing in a massive crowded stadium. Even with your eyes closed, you could probably feel the floor vibrating differently, depending on whether the crowd is cheering on the far left or the far right. You could basically pinpoint the exits just by feeling the vibrations. For a bird, the deep, low-frequency roar of massive ocean swells pounding against a continental shelf acts as a permanent, vibrating background map. They can literally feel the location of a coastline from the middle of a landlocked continent. It gives them constant, large-scale geographic orientation without ever having to actually see the ocean. Chapter 2: The Ultimate Biological Engine. Now, gathering all that sensory data is only half the battle. Calculating the perfect route is completely useless if you don't have the thermodynamic power to actually make the flight. When a long-distance migrant, take the bar-tailed godwit, for example, begins its non-stop journey, it undergoes a frankly terrifying mid-flight physical metamorphosis to optimize its range-to-weight ratio. Step 1, it actively shrinks its own digestive organs just to drop dead weight. Step 2, its heart and pectoral muscles undergo extreme hypertrophy, rapidly expanding to accommodate sustained high-intensity aerobic work. And Step 3, it completely switches its entire fuel source to burn high-energy lipid reserves. This biological process is absolutely insane. It is exactly like a long-haul truck driver who suddenly has to jettison unnecessary cargo, strip out the heavy seating, and replace the truck's engine with a jet turbine, all while speeding down the highway mid-transit, just to ensure they don't run out of fuel. It's life or death. If the bird burns its fat reserves too fast, it literally starves in the middle of the sky. But if it burns them too slowly, it simply doesn't have the horsepower to push through punishing high-altitude headwinds. It is the ultimate balancing act of physiological cost. And while that massive biological engine is burning hot, the bird's onboard software is running incredibly complex mental arithmetic. Think about a weary traveler resetting their watch. As a bird flies across different time zones, the sun's position in the sky obviously changes. To keep flying in a perfectly straight line, the bird has to continuously phase reset its own circadian clock. Imagine being on a plane flying across the Atlantic and having to manually adjust your wristwatch every single hour while simultaneously doing complex trigonometry in your head to figure out how the sun's angle changes between New York and London. The bird does this entirely autonomously. It uses an internal metronome in its pineal gland to constantly check its internal time against the sun's horizontal angle, keeping its flight path perfectly linear.
Chapter 3. The Flying Hive Mind.
Okay, now let's zoom out from the individual bird, because all of this staggering technology isn't just operating in pure isolation. A flock isn't just a bunch of random birds flying in the same general direction. It is a massive, highly synchronized, distributed intelligence network. Yes, the famous V formation reduces aerodynamic drag, which is exactly like a professional cycling team drafting behind a lead rider to save physical energy. But more importantly, it functions as a multi-headed information-sharing cloud network. When the lead bird hits a strong thermal updraft or sudden turbulent air, that data is shared instantly across the entire group. This distributed intelligence effectively pools their collective survival strategies, mathematically averaging out the navigation errors of the younger, less experienced birds flying in the back.
So how does an individual bird actually process all of this incoming flock data along with the changing environmental data? Well, it uses something called Bayesian sensory weighting. Basically, a bird isn't just blindly sensing the world, it is making highly complex statistical guesses about its exact location based on noisy, sometimes imperfect data. For example, if a bird is flying over a massive iron deposit hidden deep underground, its internal magnetic compass gets temporarily scrambled. So what does it do? It dynamically reassigns weight. It might instantly drop its reliance on magnetic input down to just 5% and heavily increase its reliance on the sun's position and those infrasonic ocean vibrations.
I really want you to let that mind-blowing realization sit for a moment. This biological Bayesian shift is exactly, and I mean literally exactly, how our most advanced autonomous drones operate today. When a high-tech human-made drone loses its GPS signal while flying through a dense urban canyon of towering skyscrapers, its software natively falls back on inertial navigation and visual odometry. While birds have been running this exact same dynamic fallback software for millions of years. They swap their sensory priorities effortlessly so that a single environmental glitch never ever results in a total system crash. Chapter 4. The Fatal Sensory Glitch. But what happens when that ancient, fail-proof system actually does crash? We have to look at a much darker reality here, a place where millions of years of evolutionary programming collides head-on with modern human interference. Right now, the biggest threat out there is ALAN, artificial light at night. You see, many of these birds migrate in the pitch dark, relying on the faint, stable patterns of starlight to orient themselves during massive overnight flights. But our disorganized high-intensity city lights create a lethal sensory trap. This artificial illumination completely overwhelms their delicate celestial navigation systems. It traps them in the glow, causing them to circle urban centers endlessly in a state of total confusion until they just drop from sheer exhaustion. It is directly analogous to a motorist driving through a dense, foggy mountain pass who suddenly follows a massive, distracting array of blinding spotlights. Just imagine that pure disorientation for a second. The fog is incredibly thick, you can't see the safe road ahead, and suddenly a blinding multicolored array of lights aggressively pulls your attention. You completely forget the road and just blindly follow the brightest glow, completely regardless of the steep cliff edge it leads you right off of. That terrifying scenario is exactly what these animals are experiencing every single night over our cities. And this brings us to the critical concept of the interference threshold. As we've seen throughout this explainer, the bird doesn't just navigate a physical map. It lives in a complex, multi-dimensional data space. But our human-made electromagnetic and light-based noise is pushing this ancient informational ecosystem to the absolute brink of total collapse. We are polluting the very magnetic grid, the very acoustic background, and the very celestial maps these magnificent birds completely rely on. We are actively destroying the invisible highways of the sky. But listen, there is a way to fix the glitch. Researchers point to something called migratory sensitive urban design. This means city planners taking concrete, immediate actions. We're talking about turning off unneeded lights during peak migration seasons to implement safe dark corridors, building electromagnetically shielded zones, and actively protecting these high-frequency sensory loops. We have to intentionally preserve the integrity of this data space so these incredible biological engines can actually read the map they were born with. Which leaves us with this final, really provocative thought. For centuries, human beings just looked up at the sky and wondered how they did it. Well, now we know. We have finally discovered the invisible maps of the sky, and we've reverse-engineered the most advanced biological drones on Earth. But the most important takeaway from this entire explainer remains: will we actually act to protect this multidimensional data space before the ultimate drone crashes for good? Just think about that the next time you look up at a passing flock.